I don't deserve to stand before you," he began, his eyes fixed on the floor. "I let weakness and temptation blind me. What I did with Mariam was a betrayal of everything we built, everything you trusted me with. There is no excuse, only shame. I swear it meant nothing compared to the life we share. I'm begging you for forgiveness, not because I deserve it, but because losing you would be a punishment I could never bear." Amina had always been the quiet, observant type. The kind of wife who spoke little but noticed everything, the way Musa frowned when stressed, the subtle changes in the household, and the small, almost invisible shifts in people's behavior. She had always trusted Sod, their new maid, who arrived with a polished smile, impeccable uniform, and an air of innocence that masked her cunning. Yet Amina sensed the flicker of something dangerous behind those sharp, calculating eyes, and over weeks she began noticing subtle manipulation, Sod lingering too long near Musa's workspace. Casual comments meant to undermine Amina, and secretive glances that hinted at more than simple servitude. But Amina, patient and deliberate, decided to watch, to let the threads of deception weave themselves until the time was right. For she was not a woman to act without strategy, and she knew that confronting Sod too soon would ruin the opportunity to teach her a lesson she would never forget. Meanwhile, Sod's influence grew, her flattery and feigned charm making Musa oblivious to her true intentions. His distracted laughter and lingering conversations with her in the evenings making Amina's gut tighten with unease. Yet she remained composed, keeping her movements subtle, her eyes following every interaction, noticing how Sod adjusted her posture whenever Musa complimented her, how she positioned herself between Amina and him during household tasks, how the smell of her perfume seemed deliberately stronger when Musa entered the room. And slowly, carefully, Amina began planting tiny seeds of doubt and suspense, slipping whispered suggestions about fidelity into Musa's ear, casually letting him overhear fabricated remarks about other maids and their honesty, all while secretly setting the stage for a confrontation that would expose Sod's intentions to everyone. She enlisted the help of a few trusted neighbors, including the wise elder who had long warned her about cunning spirits in human form, and together they devised a subtle plan, one that would rely on psychological tension, orchestrated coincidences, and a carefully staged event during which Sod's duplicity would be revealed in the most humiliating yet instructive way. A plan that involved placing Sod in situations where her own arrogance would betray her, leaving clues she could not hide, whispering rumors about secret meetings that never existed, planting objects in her path that hinted at betrayal, and manipulating Musa's schedule so that he would unknowingly observe Sod's actions from angles she thought invisible, creating a web of suspense that tightened with each passing day, as Amina's calm demeanor masked the storm of strategy brewing beneath the surface. And finally, on the night of the crucial feast meant to celebrate Musa's recent promotion, the plan reached its apex. Amina invited the family, neighbors, and a few respected community members, carefully ensuring that Musa and Sod would be present at the same time as the staged clues, and as the evening progressed, Sod's confidence began to crack, her flattery turning to anxious smiles, her eyes darting nervously, until she inadvertently exposed herself, reaching for a hidden note that Amina had deliberately placed, a note that, once discovered, revealed Sod's secret intentions, her attempts to charm Musa, and her manipulation of household matters. And the room fell silent as every eye turned toward her, the weight of public exposure sinking in, her mask of innocence shattered as Amina, with quiet dignity, addressed the guests, explaining how trust could be weaponized, and how deception, no matter how clever, always reveals itself to the observant. While Musa, initially shocked, felt the sting of betrayal but also a renewed respect for Amina's insight and patience. And as Sod was sent away with no chance to manipulate further, humbled and shamed, Amina's calm presence dominated the room, a living testament to wisdom, patience, and the power of silent vigilance, while Musa embraced his wife, grateful for her foresight and the lesson learned, and the household returned to peace. The story of the quiet wife who taught the maid a bitter lesson spreading through the village as a cautionary tale, a suspenseful narrative of patience, strategy, and the inevitable triumph of cleverness over deceit, leaving every listener with a chill and a moral that lingered long after the tale was told. And in the quiet corners of the village, young women and men alike would whisper of Amina's quiet strength, her patience that outwitted malice, and her demonstration that sometimes the softest voice carries the sharpest edge, a story that would echo through generations, reminding all that true vigilance requires not noise, but observation, not haste, but meticulous planning, not anger, but the careful orchestration of justice that leaves the guilty exposed and the innocent vindicated, a suspenseful saga of betrayal, cunning, patience, and ultimate triumph. As the days turned into weeks,